套啊，being show off 啊，阿姐啊，做片啊。
This guy confirm sell drug by car one, or like do illegal stuff.
Kind of hurt. We are nice people too. Yeah. It's probably just how locked the exterior of my car is. People just assume that I'm rowdy, uncivilized, 套啊，being show off. 阿姐做片啊。
Like it's like, this guy confirm sell drug by car one, or like do illegal stuff.
I was just dropping someone off. His friends that saw, they were just asking whether I was selling drugs. That's one of the stereotype that we usually hear when someone of my race drives a sports car, a luxury car.
I had a PlayStation and I started off with Gran Turismo 1.
Gran Turismo 2 or 3, not so sure. Wow, I think the hours I've put in it was a lot.
The old Kallang car park where I saw a lot of races. I think back then I was still 13, 14, yeah.
Very misappropriated or misunderstood.
And then this incident also has caused a stir where not only speeding, but also modifications looked into now.
There are the extremes where it's to the point where it's inconsiderate to the public, and all these instances and this black sheep are perhaps causing us to have a bad life.
To be really honest, if they were to join us in a car meet, they will have a very different opinion of who we are.
Because actually, if you dive deep into the community, there are many people, even on the Abing kind of car, the people are real, the people are very passionate and they are very kind.
When we joined the group, we will hear about 0808. In the past, that's just a day before National Day. Many car groups in Singapore, right? So they will all meet up at some area and they go rounding around Singapore. It's a sight to see because there's a lot of cars running around Singapore, wave to each other and say hi, So it's not so much about speeding, it's about driving together.
There was this 16-year-old guy just came up and like, hey, I'm a fan of your car. One night, one of our friends just, hey, it's this guy's birthday, right? Yeah, and he said I'm gonna bring him out, treat him to a meal. We met and I gave him a ride. I think he just that night I brought my girlfriend along and she just said like, wow, this is like you 10 years ago. If someone brings you in a car that you love, you'll just be exactly the same.
Majority of the time, the car community are very helpful, very friendly, quite engaging. There's always an activity.
But all of this, I think, are not being seen. There's only so much that we can do. I think it's kind of sad that we have to change people's perspective when we are really not that bad ourselves. Few black sheep and we are all labelled the same.
They don't know much about like cars, modifications, all this, and driving basically. Those people like to say like, don't judge me on how many failures I have, but judge me on how many wins I've had. It goes the same as drivers. There are actually a lot better and safer drivers out there who actually own this kind of cars.
They always share all the very typical generalization of bad car community stuff, but all the good stuff they don't talk about.
Basically, before you pass a comment on car enthusiasts, do some research about it.
Yeah, and I just don't know why. Yeah, but we are nice people too. Yeah.